Hi guys, I just wanted to touch on a topic about Harry Potter this morning. No, I'm only joking. Hence the Hogwarts Cup. No, I just wanted to do a bit of a chat, really, a bit of a discussion about why lads who go to the gym and train don't ever progress year on year. So the the basics of it are someone that you might see go on holiday one year, look really ripped, look good, and the next year they've trained all year supposedly to put muscle on and whatnot, and you look at next year's holiday photos and they look no different. You know, they just look the same. You know, they've got themselves back to that ripped position, but no real muscle tissue's been grown. So there's a few reasons for this. I think the sole reason is that people don't stay in an off season for long enough. So that's I'd say that's my number one reason. So if you're the sort of lad that starts a bulk and it gets to, so I've seen it where lads have got to 3 weeks in and they've been like, oh, I'm getting a little bit fat though, so I'm going to just do a little bit of a cut for a little bit and then I'll go again. So, I mean, think of that logically as you're speaking about that. So you're going to bulk for 3 weeks and then you're going to cut and then, oh, I'm feeling lean again, so I'll bulk again and then I'll cut. You're basically going 3 steps forward, 3 steps back. And you're never progressing anywhere. You know, how can you expect a logbook, for argument's sake, to have these numbers increasing week on week if you're just going to be changing your calories every 2 minutes? So here's my advice. The first one is don't get fat. You know, if you're getting fat within 3, 4, 5 weeks of bulking, you've got it completely wrong. And I understand why lads would get this wrong. I mean, you've only got to look in the media when you're watching these bodybuilders and what have you, and Eddie Hall, you know, there's 10 calorie challenges here, there and everywhere. He eats, so-and-so eats 8,000 calories a day. So the obvious thing for lads to do is think, right, so if he eats 8,000 calories a day for that, I'm going to at least have to get 5,000 in. And nothing's been taken into account. You know, their energy balance hasn't been taken into account, and what you'll find there is that they haven't even got fat when they've done this. A lot of it's in their head because they've just bloated like fuck from poor choices in the diet because they think that that's the way to get the calories in. So here's the approach that I go at with my lads. If they're willing to be consistent enough, I find that women seem to adhere to the plans a lot better than the men. On my team, you know, I like, if I set a diet, I like to stick to it to a point. You know, they're not restrictive diets. I mean, half of them have got Rice Krispie squares in the diet. You know, half of them have got bagels. You know, it's not as if I'm asking them to eat chicken and greens. So I need some consistency there. But anyway, so what I would start by doing, I would get lean first. So I would strongly advise going from a lean position, but say we're at this said lean position. So the goal is not then just to absolutely bump the calories stupidly. So what you need to do, so say for argument's sake, you're eating, at the minute, you've just come off a diet and you're eating 6 meals a day, you're at this lean position, you've been doing Stairmaster every day. So the first port of call there would be to slowly get rid of the Stairmaster. So I'd probably take that straight away. I wouldn't get rid of the cardio. I'd never get rid of cardio. But I'd probably pull it from the Stairmaster and say they've been doing 40 minutes a morning on the Stairmaster. We'll take that down to 40 minutes a morning on the treadmill walking uphill or something like that. So that we're still getting that morning cardio in. Then the calories can just slightly bump up. So it might even be I could be talking 100 grams of potatoes here and there, oats. If this is done right over the weeks, so as the weeks go on, so, you know, the week after we might take that cardio down to 35 minutes, then we'll take it down to 30 minutes. Then all of a sudden it's down, you know, we're 4 weeks into this, your calories have just gradually gone up so slow, and it's still clean foods and you can still digest it and it's still working really, really well for you. The calories have gone up, the expenditure's just coming down. We might get that to the stage where it's just like what I'm doing at the minute, just a walk, you know, or steps, just basically not even cardio, we're just going by how many steps you're doing a day. And that is energy balance, and that's how to work it out. And then from this point, you still will not be getting fat, but your body will be responding if you're training right. That's another subject that we will go into. If you're training right and your logbook is progressing and you're getting stronger and these calories are going up, there's no way that you will be fat. And if you do feel fat, which I have been through this, so I'm not mocking this process. In fact, I go through it now. But if you think that you're fat and you're doing all that right and it's going up that gradual, then you may be suffering with some body dysmorphia. But this is how you put muscle tissue on. That's the basics of the diet side of it. And then the training side of it. Or before I go on to the training side, actually, remember that you can only grow off what you can digest. So say again, if you've seen someone that eats 3 bagels and 6 eggs for a meal, and you have that, and you're straight for a shit, and you feel like crap. You know, you are not going to perform on that, and that is not for you. So this is where you've got to be really unique in what you set up, and you've got to trial and error foods, because if you don't, you've just got no chance. And this is why I have such a gripe with companies that'll just give people calories. You know, they'll just throw food at them, food plans, and there's nothing. You know, someone might have an 8-week shred and they'll have 50 lads on it. You know, or 50 girls, whatever it is. The diet's the same for everyone, and that is just absolutely fucking foolish. Because, in my opinion, that's like going to a doctor and just getting useless information thrown at you, because it's just, there's nothing taken into account. So I do have a real fucking problem with this. But anyway, we'll move on from there before I go fucking mental. So then onto the training side. So a lad in a muscle building off season phase. So a logbook is absolutely essential. Start with your basic exercises. You know, you want to be getting really good at your squat. You want to be getting really good at your deadlift. You want to be getting really good at your bench. You want to have say, a good pull down machine in. You know, where you're getting stronger week on week. The list's endless. You know, bent over rows. Now, exercise choices are not a one size fits all. If you're absolutely brilliant at moving weight on one machine and you can progress week on week, and you know you really enjoy that machine and it feels good, use that machine, you know, but just make sure that you focus on the reps. So the reps and the weight, sorry. So say, for argument's sake, you've moved 20 aside one week and you've done 9 reps, and then you've maybe done another set where you've took weight off and got 15 reps. So the week after, you've got to go in there and you've either got to beat the 9 reps, you've either got to beat the form of the 9 reps, so if you know, slow it up, still get 9, but just a better set, still progression, or you've got to beat the weight. And that, week on week, should be the key focus. You know, don't just go into the gym mindlessly picking weights up, because it's just stupid. You're just never making any progress. And I'm not saying, I know that everyone isn't a bodybuilder, and I know that people go to gyms for different reasons, but if you're serious about putting muscle mass on, you need a logbook, and you need to be, and this is women as well, by the way. This isn't just male. I think that training is, barring a couple of exercises that I like to favour for women, and things that I like to favour for men, training should be exactly the same. You know, it should be about progression. It should be week on week beating your PBs. You know, it's like a runner going out and beating the PBs. And then if you do feel burnt out and you hit a week where you plateau, and you know nothing, you look through your logbook and you think, bloody hell, I ain't PB'd on anything. That means it's time for a rest, and that's when I wouldn't say you sometimes could, depend on how hard you train. I won't say you need a full rest. You might take a few days and then go into like a deload phase where you just reduce the volume. So instead of doing the volume that you used to, you just pull it back and maybe go at maybe, I don't know, 40-50% less than what you'd normally do. You know, and just give your body and your CNS chance to recover and go at it again. But yeah, it's my basic things with this are for lads. You have got to eat. It's true. You know, you've got to get those calories in, but don't rush them. You know, don't put them straight up to 6,000. If you're slow about it, and you're consistent, and you look at checking photos, or you've got a coach that's looking at checking photos, you should be able to judge whether you can push those calories up or not. And slowly but surely you will get up to a really good amount of calories, and you won't look fat. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're going to be as lean as you were, you know, in the summer, but you have got to sacrifice a little bit of that if you do want to get strong, unfortunately, and that's just the way that it is. And this is what a lot of lads are not willing to do. So yeah, basically, eat smart, but eat big. Don't train like a pussy. That's a massive, important thing, and I see it. You can walk around any gym and you will see people just training like nowhere near failure on reps. Absolutely nowhere near. And this is essential again for growth. You've got to be pushing those muscles. You've got to be pushing them to failure where possible, in a safe way. So yeah, eat big and smart. Don't train like a pussy, and progress your lifts. Progress your lifts and food. Your logbook and your food should be progressed in the same sort of manner. And if you do get a little bit chubby, it's not the end of the world. You just strip it back. Mini cuts can be done, but what I don't advocate is a mini cut 3 weeks into a bulk. You know, give it some time. If you can spend, I'm in my 20th week now of an off season. That's 20 weeks where I've been pushing my calories slowly. I'm still not fat. Don't get me wrong. I'm not lean, but I can still see abs, and I'm still, you know, I'm building. So I'm getting stronger. You know, it's essential to spend that time in a growth phase, because you've always got to remember that when you are dieting, you're not growing. You cannot grow muscle when you are in a calorific deficit. That's the time to hold on to muscle. So again, nothing changes with the training. The volume may change slightly. You might get rid of, say, drop sets or, you know, supersets and stuff like that, but nothing changes. You know, you're going the other way, but you've got to hold on to muscle, and to hold on to muscle, you've got to keep them strong lifts going in and progressing them. Yeah, I'll try to do more videos like this. I know that I've focused quite a lot on the ladies so far, so I'll get some information out for the guys as well. But yeah, thank you. Click subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get frigging massive, lads.